What is up, fanesters? Welcome into the Wildcast Instacast post-game show presented by Appliance Solutions. Right now, they've got the Kitchen Aid event, and I don't have my notes. Hang on. Hold on. I'm pulling back the curtain. Oh. This is how I just feel about this one. I'm just disjointed again. Sorry. Welcome into the Wildcast Instacast post-game show presented by Appliance Solutions. Right now, until November 1st, they got the Autumn Kitchen Suite Savings Event. Instant savings on qualifying main tag and World appliances. Buy two, save $200. Buy three, save $300. I don't have my usual setup, which my usual setup is my wonderful wife's computer. That's a little bit better than mine, so I won't have highlights. And let's be honest, there ain't many. So I got kind of a two-computer setup here. We'll go quickly around the queue. Cape Breton getting a 4-3 victory over Gatineau. Sherbrooke getting a 2-1 victory over Quebec. The Armada looks like they're going to get the 4-1 victory over St. John. Halifax is up 2-1 on Baie-Comeau in the third. That was going to be a good one. That was going to be a good test for Baie-Comeau as well as for Halifax. And then here, Moncton, a lot to a little. A lot to a little. Again, if you're watching on the YouTube, again, thank you for supporting. Don't forget to click and subscribe as well. Click that bell button so you get notifications when the podcast comes out, as well as when we do this live stream and stuff. The highlight of the game, I think, they filmed the walkout. I've been asking for 3 years. They filmed the walkout. I was sitting up in the press booth with Jeremy, and I looked at it, and I was like, man, they have the technology to do this. They just got to do it. And he's like, I thought Richie told us one time he was going to. I was like, yeah. And I looked up from my phone, and boom, there they were. And I got very giddy. I was like, I have been asking for 3 years. You guys know that I've been asking for that since they redid the entryway. It wasn't perfect, but it was filming the walkout instead of a black screen. That was the highlight of the night. For me and maybe for everyone that was there, because it was not pretty. Look, I'm not even upset. Like, that is a throwaway game. That is one of those games where I don't even think you can learn anything from it. It's kind of the game like they had against Halifax last year. At least the goaltender wasn't in for 10 goals. The coach didn't leave him in. A little bit of a different scenario. We're not playing again tomorrow night. Would have been an interesting conversation had we have to go to Charlottetown tomorrow. But actually, while I'm talking, I got my magnets, and now I need to find said magnets. So I have the schedule because Jeremy, who's the Twitter guy during the games, tweeted that he is done with Thursday games, no more Thursday games. And I think we have a couple, but they're not against good teams anymore. So go to customer service to get your magnets. Yes, this is the final Thursday game until the end of November. So, but again, those ones are against Charlottetown and St. John. Look, this is a team I picked in the preseason show to go to the finals, and they flat out showed why they are a completely different team from last year. I mean, we had 43 shots, and Mercer was good. Go to the customer service above section 103, where you get the jersey tickets and stuff like that when you come up the escalators. Go left. Again, this might cut out every now and again, and I do apologize for that. In fact, I'm going to close this other thing here so that it doesn't. So it's just on the stream. Right above the, I think it's section 102, fan services. That's where they had a bunch of them. They're not giving them out. They're just where the lady sits for the jersey draw, jersey tickets. Just go right there, and you can pick up your magnets there. But I mean, 43 shots for Moncton. You say you're going to have 43 against Drummondville, and they're going to have 41. You're assuming it's going to be a 3-4-1 game. And Mercer was good. He didn't get a start tonight. Your hardest worker was, I wrote it down. This is how unprepared I was. I'm sorry. When it's 11-1, we were supposed to interview Mercier tonight, and 11-1, I don't feel like talking to him about this hockey game and bringing it up. I'm sure he didn't feel like talking about it, so kind of had to pick up a few things at the store and then get back in here and get going. So I apologize for the. I look as disjointed as the Wildcats did today. How about that? Trenholm was the hardest worker. Okay, I think they just picked a number. I think that honestly, I mean, we kind of had that chat up in the booth with Jeremy and Stephen Paquette of Wildcats, and just who are you going to pick? And I jokingly said, "Can you give it to Wild Willie, the hardest working guy in the building?" I thought maybe Collard could have had it. He had a couple chances, but yeah, I did find my magnets. I did. So I got one for the kitchen upstairs, or the fridge. I've got a collection of those, and I've got one down here. I got two actually for down here for Jeremy and I to have during the show. But yeah, that team to me showed how far the Moncton Wildcats have to go, and it's quite a bit. And look, they got St. John, or they got Charlottetown and Bathurst back to back this weekend, and it literally could be a situation where it was just like last week. They lost to Victo, then we might get that same thing. And I know that the computer started to do its thing. Just hold with me. I don't have my normal setup, but I mean, Charlottetown. You look at Charlottetown; they're in a good spot. They're a good team. They're a hardworking team. They're coming off a road trip, I do believe. I'm going to bring up the schedule here. Charlottetown. I believe they were just on the road against. I think they played Bacomo Wednesday, and now they're on their way back home. Yeah, they played the Bacomo Chicoutimi Rimouski trip. They lost to Bacomo. They lost to Chicoutimi. They beat Rimouski, and that was on the 9th. So that was Monday. Yeah, so the Thanksgiving Day. Then they make the trek back home. They get Drummondville tomorrow, and then they get us on Saturday. So we get a break. They're going to get this Drummondville team tomorrow. So that we'll have to see how they respond on a back-to-back night when we get a little bit of a break. But I mean, you take this tape and you legit throw it out. Like, I know people thought on this live I was going to come on here and be mad and be angry. And how can you be angry? Like, they just took it to us. It actually, honest to goodness, until they started to pull away in the second period, it was a 2-1 hockey game. I know that the score was 3-1, but Repchick goal went off Steinman's glove. Woodworth went off of Plandowski's foot. I think you're just catching on to the fact that they did the Jumbotron. Yeah, no, it's highlight of the night for me. Highlight of the night for me, Michelle. As everyone on here will know, that is a highlight. They might even get a stick tap of the week. I might even let Jeremy do the Wildcat of the week, and I'll do the stick tap, and I'll give him the stick tap. But no, Peter Repchick's goal was off Steinman's glove, up and over. Woodworth's goal was off Plandowski's trailing foot when he went to turn. I mean, at that point, you just kind of know it's not going to be your night. It's like at all. And it just, Moran got the goal. Again, I don't have my usual setup to have two screens and highlights, and I'm not going through all that for one highlight. A shorty, Connor Trenholm gave it to Moran, and he put it, I believe, top shelf. And then that was it. And it was a whole lot of red on the score. But I mean, that line of Gauthier, top line here, of Loshing, Sumph, and OJ, and they showed the level you need to be at to be a top line on a contender. And the gap is big. And they've now lost to 3 of the 4 preseason contenders in the past 3 of 4 home games. So the bright side, we don't play them for quite a while. So we've got time to get this thing figured out. What do we got here? Bathurst, Val-d'Or, who is now, I think, 4-1 or 4-2. I'm going to bring up another screen here. Val-d'Or's coming in. So you got Bathurst, you got Val-d'Or back-to-back Sundays. And then St. John, Quebec, that they're not where they are. So the Wildcats have a chance here to get some W's in a row. And again, if you get through October and your record is 10-4, and your 4 losses are to the Drummondville, Halifax, and then Halifax at the end of the month, you're okay with that as long as you get beat by Halifax and you're in it. If it's another game where you come out flat or you get pumped like they did tonight, then obviously you've got big problems against contenders. But if you come out of this month, the first 2 months of the season, and you're 10-4, I think a lot of fans would take that, and you're building towards something, because I mean, then you've got the month of November and you've got to figure out what you're going to do, whether you're going to kind of push a few of the chips in or whether you're going to make a few small trades for next year. But that's kind of where we're looking. I don't want to get too far on the lives, but again, thanks for everyone joining. If you haven't subscribed already, please click and like the subscribe button. Hit the little bell to make sure that you don't miss any of the post-game shows, and or our podcast that drops every Wednesday. Standings. I mean, this is probably going to be a quick one, because unless you guys got questions, you can put them in the chat. So they've got Drummondville at 5-1 that they just lost to, and then you've got Val-d'Or coming in at 5-1. Now, out of those two teams, expected to be 5-1. Val-d'Or, a little bit of a surprising 5-1, but they have beaten Rouyn-Noranda 3 of those 5 times. For those 3 of those 5 wins have been against Rouyn-Noranda, who again is a top contending team. So that's how I make myself feel better. Tahiti treat, fruit punch, hashtag not a sponsor. Instead of the regular Coke. Just need a nice little pick me up on a night like this. But yeah, I mean, they kind of moved lines around. It looked like midway through the second period, they kept the defense the way it was, which I kind of expected they would. I mean, they made in-game changes in back-to-back games, but they ended up staying with the same 6 that they've gone with the whole time. And Auger and Mercier flip-flopped. So Mercier was on the top line with Loshing, Sumpf, and then Mercier moved up. Or Auger was down with Trenholm and Denouillet. 6, 7, 8-1. I mean, I don't know why you don't throw Carrier on the line with Mercier and Denouillet, but give it a chance, see what happens. But I'll be a bit shocked on Friday or Saturday if we see different lines. I don't think Dan's going to knee-jerk reaction to this and put all the lines in a blender. I mean, he's got excellent chemistry with Buehler, Lounsbury, and Collard. I mean, that line was easily the best line tonight. Carey, Sampson, Glass, they got stuck out against the Cote Woodworth line a couple times, which is not easy. But yeah, I mean, a couple of the power play goals. One of the last ones, I don't even remember which one it was. I think it was the Goyette one. I mean, 3 guys are puck watching, and 1 guy's in the slot, buries it. So it was just a tough night all around, and it's just they lost like this to Halifax last year, and you threw out the tape and you learn from it, and that's pretty much as they could do. This is not a learn from game. This is a throw the tape, burn it, kill it. Don't even talk about this one. They're up here and you're here right now. Like, you've got a long way to go, and that's that's what these two matchups on back-to-back Thursdays show. A third round or a final, A, they got to make some trades because these top teams are going to make trades, but they're going to cost. And B, if you're not, you got to come together. And I was the one that said, hey, to you during the, oh, okay. That's all right. Hi, Braxton. Yeah, they got to figure it out. I know I was in the second period, Craig Eagles was on with Marty, and he said that first period was a lot of chipping, a lot of chasing. They weren't supporting the puck. They weren't coming out as 5-man units, entering as 5-man units into the offensive zone, and it showed. And when that top line of Drummondville was going, they were coming in a wave of 3. And the second line, a wave of 3. And then, the penalty kill, even if Moncton had a chance, it was a quick puck support, and the puck was down the ice and out. Like, it just, there's a bit of a gap to go. We're 5-3. You only play who you can play. But I'm not as alarmed as some people. Because like I said, in the first period, tough one a tough one off Blandowski's skate. It's 2-1 at that point. It's 2-0. And even for most of the second period, yeah, that's what it was. Gauthier scored about a minute and 50 seconds later, and it was 3-1, but you kind of felt like it was maybe 2-1 type game, like the Wildcats were in it. And then the last 5 minutes, the wheels just fell off. Lamoureux, CNI shot with 3 minutes left, and then Goyette with 30 seconds left. And just like that, it's 5-1 after 5-1, 6-1, 6-1. I just scored in there. 6-1 after 2. That's it. I mean, that's Steinman's night. Warren come in pretty much an impossible situation. Steinman gives up 6 on 25 shots. Warren gives up 5 on 16 shots. Riley Mercer was good. You can't take every negative away. It can't be completely negative on Moncton. They had good opportunities, and when they had their opportunities, Mercer was there. I mean, he tried to stop one, and the puck almost rolled in. Got caught behind the net once, but was able to make the save on a pass out. Like, he found the puck. He made the saves he needed to make to keep his team kind of in it, I guess, at 3-1. But yeah, he was good. What was this? Attendance thing, 3,000. That's your season ticket base. That's pretty much what that is. That's 24, 25, maybe 2,600 are your season ticket holders, and the rest is 4,000 walk up. And that's on a Thursday night when kids don't have school. I don't even know what to do. I don't do anything, but I don't even know what more to say. It's disheartening. I mean, the team's 5-3, so they're winning. So that generally, they're 5-2 at that point. That generally means the fans are going to show up because they only show up when the team's winning. But this isn't going to sit well when you're trying to sell tickets against Bathurst and/or Val-d'Or. That's either Kim and/or Brent. Not a good game tonight, Adam. Do you agree with me tonight? It was not a good game at all. Absolutely, Brent. That was not a good game. But that's a game, Bud, that you just, if you're the team and if you're a fan, you don't even worry about it. But yeah, you just throw that tape out. That's a very good team on the other side. In Drummondville, things are going to cut out, which means, oh, there we go. That's a very good team over there, and they're going to make, especially in the playoffs there, which is quite a bit away. We don't face Drummondville until February. Tough road trip. You got Baie-Comeau and then a night off, and then Chicoutimi and Drummondville. So we get Drummondville on the back after they've made trades, after we've made some trades. It's going to be a tough game. Just take loss. I think and gets the loss. No. So Keegan Moore, he doesn't get the loss. So if you look on his stats, he's got 2 games played and only 1 win and nothing else. So, yeah, it takes a bit of a hit, but that's going to happen when you lose 11-1. But again, I mean, 3,000 fans, you got to try something. And I can say till I'm blue in the face what ideas I have and what they should do. And until they do it, they're going to keep getting 3,000 fans. And eventually this team will get on a roll, get some wins and win 6 in a row or something and come home and the building will be full because that's what it does. And that's what fans in Moncton do is they wait till the team's winning and then they show up. But like I've said a few times, you're competing with people's grocery money in this economy. And season tickets are great, but stop advertising for season tickets. You have now had 4 home games. It's time to think of seat deals, seat packs, winning Wednesdays, but they don't. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of games on Wednesday. We only got 1 at home game at the end of March. But I mean, even if you have a ticket deal, like let's for instance say they have winning Thursdays, where if you buy a ticket to Victoriaville, you get $5 off that ticket. If they win, you get 50% off the next Thursday game. Well, people are going in the building and they're getting the $5 off or whatever. But if the team doesn't win, that's a win for the Wildcats. They only lose $5 on a ticket. But again, I can come on here every game and do it till I'm blue in the face, but at some point you got to stop, and that's kind of where I'm at. How was the intermission? They played the same 2 games: the race down dress and the X's and O's. Yes, the Drummondville goes on fire tonight. Do you agree we need to be better starting it? We need to be better. We will be better, buddy. I don't know. I hope Brent DeBourne's going to be in Charlottetown. I asked his mom. She's not thinking they're going, but we'll see if he can convince her. The podcast is traveling. I will be in Charlottetown for the game, so there will be another post-game show on Saturday because there will be no post-game show on Sunday because I'm not going. As Sunday, we are doing the Walk to Remember in remembrance of Riker. And so that's at 1:00, and I'm just not going to be in the headspace to go to a hockey game and do an interview and do a post-game show. So there will be nothing on Sunday, unfortunately. Obviously, some things are more important than hockey. But yeah, they need to be better on facing this Drummondville team tomorrow night. And if Drummondville plays like they did against depending how Charlottetown handles it, they might be in for a long night too. This is a good hockey team. It's not going to be there, but he is going to be cheering from home. I can tell you that much right now. As a Wildcats biggest fan. And I get it. Thursday night games are tough, and that's I don't want to say it's to get these games in, and you have to try and play. Seems like this is going worse and worse. You got to get these games in. And tonight or Thursday night, those are tough games at 7:00 with kids and stuff. You can't play every game on a weekend, or else these kids will be playing 3 games in 3 nights every weekend, and that's too much. Even 3 and 4 is quite a bit, but and look, this is not just a Moncton problem. I know about this because I'm in Moncton and we're in Moncton seeing this, but this is a league-wide problem. maybe in the OHL with Misa, the exceptional player, buildings might be full, but not every team's going to have Connor Bedard coming through their vehicle. Not going to have Connor Bedard coming through their arena every year, and it's tough. Everything goes up. Ticket sales have to go up, and once you get over that $20 mark for junior hockey, it is still just junior hockey. The Kubota tickets are on sale. The building looks like it's going to be full, and those tickets are like $35. But you're going to get to see the top players across the CHL, including Nisa from Memorial Cup host Saginaw, I do believe. I think you might see Taj Aginla, which for all us, people who are getting older, that is, yes, Jerome Ginla's son, who plays in Kelowna. Maybe there. He might be here. So again, we're gonna have a full building displayed on television. So that's a good thing. So if you are thinking of getting those tickets for January 24th, now I don't know if the game's at 7 or 8 o'clock, because again, it's probably going to be at 8 o'clock, just to let you know. That would be my guess, so that it is at 7 o'clock in the Eastern time zone and 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the Mountain time zone for all those teams in BC. But it might be at 7 o'clock. I'm not sure. I know that I saw somebody on one of the Facebook groups ask, and the Wildcats responded either 7 or 8. I you guys in the camera. But again, thanks to those joining us, and thanks to those eventually joining me tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the little bell to be notified when and or the podcast every Wednesday night. Any news on bus trips? Nope. I'm going to try and find out maybe this week or next week, but we would love to put one on as a podcast. We absolutely love an adult bus trip, blues trip, whatever you want to call it. But we're just we don't have the funds. B, I don't know what the insurance is when you get a bus full of drunken adults, and I can't imagine it's cheap. So again, we're just little. So we'd love to put a bus trip together as like a Wildcats bus trip, but I don't foresee that happening cost-wise. Actually, not even cost-wise, because I can pre-sell tickets in advance. It's the insurance on that bus trip that I'm not putting that on my personal insurance. And my financial advisor, Layla, she ain't letting that happen on our insurance either. For a one-time thing. Again, nothing would probably ever happen, but the insurance in itself would be crazy. But this was one of the trips that we kind of earmarked. When I looked at the schedule, kind of trying to think of things, was this one, because the weather's going to be nice, going to Charlottetown, or maybe one in March. March 9th. I was trying to figure out what, go to Charlottetown and Halifax. I was like, that's too much of a bus trip. But even a one-time bus trip, home for everyone to be in front of their televisions to watch the game against Halifax. But again, insurance-wise, I think that's going to be just too much. So, yeah. Yep, she's a very smart lady, and very lucky to have her to this all the time and travel with me wherever. That's what happens when she's 11-1. It's not much to talk about highlight wise. I mean, I could pick it apart and blah 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 blah. Oh no, I'm not going to Halifax. I wouldn't put a bus trip to Halifax. I'm home to Moncton, so everybody's home before the game to watch it on TV if they wanted to. No, I wouldn't take a bus trip to Halifax. I'd rather take a bus trip to Charlottetown. Not a bus trip. I want to put a bus trip together where the Wildcats have the best chance to win. Is that Halifax? Maybe, but nah. Charlottetown, St. John, I mean, those are games where we have a chance. But speaking of which, that's who they play this Saturday in Charlottetown. If you guys are going to the game, take a picture of your seats, tag us, we'll share it. Let us know that you're going. And then at home, again, the Bathurst, we will not be at the game. I don't know if Jeremy will be, but there will be no post-game show after that one. But there will be a quick abbreviated road post-game show after the game in Charlottetown. Again, that's kind of it for me. We're at the 30-minute mark. Going around the queue as the games are all over now. So Sherbrooke, 2-1 victory over Quebec. Cape Breton gets a 4-3 victory over Gatineau. The Armada, 4-1 over St. John. Halifax, 3-2 over Baie-Comeau. And Drummondville, a lot to a little over the Moncton Wildcats. So, yeah, that is it for the Wildcats post-game show presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions. KitchenAid Cook Up the Savings Event. Savings on all KitchenAid major appliances. 3 appliances, you save $300. 4, you save $400. And guess what? 5, you guessed it, you save $500. 25 Halifax Street in Moncton, 506-858-5111. Thank you to them for doing all of our pre- and post-game shows. I will see you guys Saturday night after the Charlottetown-Moncton game from the island. You guys have a great night. See if I get the music going here. It'll get better.